Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. I'm your host, the Game Master, and today we'll be talking about Batman and Robin. But before we get into that, smash like, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell, and leave us a comment. We've got a great community here, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. With all that said, let's dive in. Prologue to this one takes place in the North Atlantic Ocean, where Batman and Robin are searching for the Joker, who seems to have given them the slip for the moment. However, using a gadget with a detect power, their sensors examine a strange bit of ice up ahead of them. It has a cavitation inside, and they're detecting some sort of life form within. So the Bat submarine extends two spindly robotic arms which grab the ice and pull it in. A large round blue door on the front of the Bat sub opens and the ice is pulled into its cargo bay. Once the sub is sealed up and the sea waters return to the deep, Batman and Robin head down to examine it. To their surprise, within the ice, they find Captain America, the living legend of World War II. They melt the ice, and thanks to the wonders of the super soldier serum, Steve Rogers survived an ordeal that would have easily killed most men. Steve wakes up swinging, but Batman and Robin assure him that he's among friends. So Steve turns to Batman and says, Bruce? But Batman unmasks, and to Steve's surprise, it's not Bruce. It's Dick Grayson, and he's 20 years older than he was the last time Steve Rogers saw him. A confused Cap asks who Robin is, and the young man with blonde hair takes off his mask and explains that he's the son of Batman and Catwoman, and that his name is Bruce Wayne Jr. Dick Grayson tells Steve Rogers that he's missed a lot. It's the 1960s now, and the America that Steve knew is gone. Dick tells Steve that he couldn't have arrived at a better time, though, assuring him that America needs him now more than ever. Which brings us to the main plot of this game session, which takes place in Gotham City in 1966. The Prime Minister of the Republic of Moldavia, which is part of the Soviet Union, is visiting the United States. He presents the Americans with something he calls a friendship cake. But when they cut the cake, it explodes. Cake flies everywhere, splattering onlookers. Everyone is confused. If it was a robbery, nobody seems to be following it up. And if they were trying to take out the prime minister with the explosion, it was far too small to get the job done. So what gives? Just then, a tiny parachute drifts down towards the police who are investigating the scene. Attached to the parachute is a small container, and in that container is a piece of paper. So the cops read it, and it's a riddle. How is an orange like a bell? The police don't know the answer. They take the riddle to GCPD headquarters and give it to Commissioner Tony Gordon, who reads it aloud to Chief O'Hara. Police spend time trying to figure it out, but none of them can. So, as expected, Commissioner Gordon walks over to a certain red telephone. The commissioner uses it, and at stately Wayne Manor, a corresponding telephone beeps and flashes. Alfred Pennyworth, who is now 77 years old, answers the bat phone and alerts Bruce Wayne Sr., who's 55 years old, Dick Grayson, who's 36, and Bruce Wayne Jr., who's 16. Nearby, there's a bronze bust of William Shakespeare. They tilt its head back, revealing a button, which, when pressed, reveals a secret door leading to the bat poles. They slide down the poles into the bat cave, where Dick Grayson changes into the Silver Age bat suit. It's similar to Bruce's suit, but Dick added a yellow oval to the chest that Bruce never had. Bruce Jr. changes into the classic Robin costume, while Bruce Sr., who, just like his counterpart on Batman Beyond, has had several heart attacks now, takes his seat at the gigantic Bat computer. Batman and Robin run over and get into the Batmobile, which is also a reflection of Dick's tastes. This Batmobile is a long, sleek black car with red pinstriping. As Batman starts flipping switches, Robin reads the various instruments on the dashboard. Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Batman says, Roger, ready to move out. And Robin braces himself because when Dick accelerates, the car shoots out of the Batcave like a literal rocket. The turbine on the back propelling the car at breakneck speed and pinning them both to the seats from the G forces. The Batmobile streaks past a road sign that says Gotham City 14 miles, and in no time at all, it's there. Batman gets out of the Batmobile, and as he's walking away, he says, Shields. And the glass canopy that was retracted over its dual cockpits extends into place, locking out curious onlookers. Batman and Robin then enter through Commissioner Gordon's window, where the commissioner hands them the riddle. Batman reads it aloud, and Bruce Jr. says that both an orange and a bell are peeled. In campanology, or bell ringing, a peal is the special name given to a specific type of performance. Batman uses his detective skill, rolls some dice, and figures out that the riddle is really about the Peel Art Gallery. So Batman and Robin go there where they look through a window and see the man handing the Riddler something at gunpoint. So they bust in, and when they attack the Riddler, the man he was talking to yells at them to stop. He says the Riddler let him borrow that knickknack and he was giving it back. So Robin asks, why do it at gunpoint? And the Riddler reveals that what looked like a gun was actually a novelty cigarette lighter. And just like that, the Riddler states his intention to sue Batman for assault, false arrest, and slander. That night, Dick and the Wayne family watch this on TV. Robin's little sister, Helena, says Dick ruined her father's good name, and her mother, Selina, scolds her and then hurries her off to bed, apologizing to Dick. Dick tells the others that he feels just awful. Bruce Jr. tells Dick it wasn't his fault, that it was entirely the Riddler's fault. Bruce Sr. says the bigger problem is that if Dick is asked to appear in court, his secret identity would be revealed. Bruce Jr. suggests that the Riddler's catastrophic irrational attraction to leaving clues might mean there's something of worth in the paperwork that he gave them. So they run it through the Bat computer and find another riddle. When is the time of a clock like the whistle of a train? Bruce Jr. says, when it's 222. Then he imitates the familiar sound of a train whistle. They find another riddle, and the answer to this one is a glove. So they put the answers together and decide to check out 222 Glover Avenue. When they get there, they find a club called What a Way to Go-Go. Since Robin's underage, he stays in the car while Dick Grayson goes into the club. Robin keeps an eye on Dick using one of the car's gadgets called the Bat Scope, which has the remote sensing power. Dick walks in the bat suit, and everyone reacts to him, of course. One woman faints, but another woman, a red-hot ginger-haired woman named Molly, approaches Batman and asks him, how is a quarrel like a bargain? He says the answer is that it takes two to make it, like beautiful music or a dance. And with that, Molly asks Dick Grayson to dance with her. So Batman takes to the dance floor and does the notorious Batusi. Bruce Wayne Sr. watches from the Batcave, which is tied to the Batmobile's Batscope, and he shakes his head at Dick's shenanigans. Molly puts on some lipstick, then gives Batman a kiss, but it's a trick. Dick collapses on the dance floor. Outside in the Batmobile, Robin sees this, and as he leaps into action, the Riddler shoots him with something akin to a crossbow. But the bolt is more like a large needle. Robin is now drugged too and passes out. But in the club, Dick still has one hit point left. And though drugged, he manages to crawl back to the Batmobile, but it's too late. Bruce Wayne Jr. is gone. So Batman gets on the radio and tries to contact Robin. We substitute one of Robin's Omni gadgets for a walkie-talkie, and the Riddler answers the call as Robin is waking up. Robin struggles, and Dick can hear him and asks where he is. Riddler gives Batman another riddle, which leads to a factory. Batman heads there as fast as he can, and Riddler knocks out Robin with a canister of gas. Riddler hides the real Robin while Molly steals Robin's utility belt, which contains his Omni gadgets. So she subs an Omni gadget for the chameleon power in the form of a disguise kit, and she disguises herself as Robin. So when Batman shows up at the factory, it's Molly that he rescues. Since she's disguised as Robin, he hurries her back to the Batcave. And as soon as she gets there, she pulls a gun on him and tries to shoot him. But her skill is too low and she misses. On Batman's turn, he subs an Omni gadget for knockout gas and she's knocked out. Batman takes Molly to the Gotham City Police Department where she's locked up in her Robin costume. Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and Chief O'Hara then review the recording of what the real Robin said in the Riddler's headquarters, and they overhear the sound of a subway train. Batman requests a schedule of where the trains were and at what time, and he feeds it into the mobile crime computer in the back of the Batmobile, which has an automatic radio link with the Bat computer in the Batcave, which means that yes, apparently Batman had the internet in 1966. Anyways, the computer network figures out where Batman needs to go. Meanwhile, the real Robin is strapped down to a surgical table, and the Riddler is wondering why his mall hasn't returned with Batman's head on a silver platter yet. Robin's basically trash talking the Riddler, so he picks up a surgical scalpel and gets ready to have some fun at Robin's expense. Just then, the wall explodes thanks to a Bat gadget subbed for the bomb power. Batman enters through the chaos he's created, and Robin yells, "Holy smoke!" On the Riddler's turn, he moves out of the room as an automatic action, then pulls a lever as another automatic action, and a bulletproof glass wall seals Batman and Robin in the room. The Riddler and his 5 goons then escape and return to where the Prime Minister of Moldavia was at. Here, there is a priceless stuffed woolly mammoth with gold rings on its tusks, and each ring is adorned with priceless jewels. The villains use knockout gas on everyone in the room and blow a hole through the floor to take the woolly mammoth out that way. And while the bulletproof glass wall slowed down the Cape Crusaders, they still manage to get there where they confront the Riddler and his men, and a fight breaks out. Batman and Robin basically have higher stats than everyone else here, so it's a simple matter of whittling their numbers down one by one. The Riddler, at the end of the fight, flees into that hole they were going to take the mammoth through. But when Batman chases him, Riddler shoots a gas line. Batman escapes, but there's an explosion. And afterwards, when the police show up, they can't find a body. Which brings us to our epilogue, which takes place the next day back at stately Wayne Manor. On the news, Dick and the Wayne family watch a story about how the Riddler never showed up for his court date. Bruce Jr. says something about whether or not the Riddler is dead. Bruce Sr. points out that if they didn't find a body, then chances are good that they haven't seen the last of the Prince of Puzzles. Bruce Jr. makes a troubling comment about letting their enemies live. It seems he's got a little too much of his mother in him, and he has a slight villainous side. Bruce Sr. says he'd hardly see the Riddler's survival as a failure on their part. He says the Mammoth of Moldavia was never stolen. If it had been, there may have been a major international incident with the USSR, or worse. Just then, on the news, a man named G. Gordon Godfrey gives a short speech about how dangerous the Riddler is and how a costume villain almost just started World War III. And America hangs on every word he says. That's a story for another day. Mid-Ohio Con in Columbus, Ohio in the 1990s, I got to meet Adam West and Frank Gorshin, who played Batman and the Riddler on the 1966 Batman TV show, which, of course, this adventure was based on. Frank Gorshin told me that just once he'd like to win. And Adam West gave me a knowing smile and said, "That's okay. We'll get him in the second part. We always do." I will always fondly remember and cherish that day. And because of that, it makes this adventure hit a little bit different for me. So I really enjoyed this one. We hope that you guys enjoyed hearing about it. If so, as always, smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, and leave us a comment, because it really helps us out with the algorithm, and we love hearing from you guys. From all of us here at the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth, we hope that all you guys have a great week, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.